So the key points for my presentation was more focused on differentiating the genetic signaling between traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder. And we found DNA methylation changes for post-traumatic stress disorder that was not in traumatic brain injury. So we think we found a way to enhance this and really help our research between the two. Yeah, so there's actually a good amount of research looking at epigenetics and brain injury. And epigenetics is more how the environment can influence your DNA signaling. And so a traumatic event is going to have an impact on your epigenetics. And so if you go from there, you can say, well, is that going to be enough, or should we compare that to the downstream effects of injuries such as brain matter volume or hormones and things like that? So I focused on the brain matter volume aspect and paired that with the DNA methylation. Epigenetics studies how the environment can influence your DNA signaling. So based on how you grew up, if a traumatic event happened to you when you were a child, or if abuse happened or something like that, that's where epigenetic comes in. So, based on your individual experiences growing up or through adulthood, you can see changes in the DNA signaling that is unique to that person. Yeah, to me this is kind of a big deal and it's very exciting, especially since with our research in the military, there's not a lot of women, and we're having a really hard time understanding what's going on with women and trauma. So when we get together and researchers combine forces, then we can really start having a good dialogue on what's going on with women and trauma. And most importantly, this leads to therapeutic strategies that are more effective to women than they are for men, because right now men and women are getting the same treatment, and I'm not sure if that's going to work out too well. Actually, the presentation before me was really interesting. It was from a researcher at the VA in Boston, and she has a very large data set of longitudinal data with veterans, and some of it included brain volume and epigenetics. And so I think I'm going to go find her, and we're going to talk about how we can combine our data, and that's going to be really important for making more concrete conclusions about women and concussions.